Hello, it's that time again. It's the Lawn Fawn Fans Winter Video Hop. I am excited to be participating in this hop. We are sponsored today by scrapbook.com. It's a $50 gift certificate. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a little bit. Here's the card that we're making today. Let's jump right into the project. I'm going to be using a lot of Lawn Fawn stamps. I'm using Den Sweet Den. I'm using the bear sitting up, the bear laying down, the little baby bear, the books, and also the little picture. From Really High Five, I'm using the present. Crazy Antics, I'm using that blanket. This is S'more the Merrier, which can be found over at Ellen Hutson, and I am using the guitar. This is Season's Tweetings. It was a limited edition Simon Says Stamptember release from Lawn Fawn, and I am using several elements from that. I'm using the Christmas lights, an ornament, and I think there's a couple other things. This is the brick stencil. Both of those panels are cut to 6 by 4 1/4. They are Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock. I have used some spun sugar to stencil that brick. Now I'm taking the shorter side of the panel. So the 6-inch portion of that panel is lined up at the top of my scoreboard. My score tool is a little bit dirty, can you tell? And I am going to score it at 1.25 inches, and then I'm going to score it again at 1/4 inch. Now the first one I scored at 1 inch, and I'm going to go back off camera and score it at 1.25. So that is going to give me a nice 1-inch side to my box card. And I'm just making sure that everything is fitting together nicely and is scored nicely. And then I'm going to add some purple tape right here, and I need to add a little bit of the stenciling to the sides of my boxes to make sure that it's cohesive, but I don't want to get any of that ink on the back of my card. So here is that spun sugar again. But I did forget the inside of my flaps. There was one flap that, because I did a mountain fold, so you can see it's mountain folded on both the 1.5 inch and the 1/4 inch mark. But on the other one, I did it backwards. And I have to do a little bit of surgery here later on in my card. But that's okay. We're going to make it work. Fortunately, I have some pieces that will line up beautifully. I'm taking some Scrapbook Pal or scrapbook.com 1/4 inch tape, and I'm adhering it to the 1/4 inch side of that flap. And I'm going to take the side that is not scored of the other piece of paper, and I'm going to line that up. And that is going to be one side of our box. This is a die from my stash. I probably bought it in a D stash when I first started card making, so I have absolutely no clue where it came from. My apologies. I am going to center that to my card panel. This will be the front of my card, and I am going to cut out the front so that you can see through my card. And there it is. This is a piece of acetate. I actually cut it a little bit too big. I think I cut it to 5.5, and I really only needed to cut it to about 5 inches. So it's 5 inches long by 2 inches, and I scored at 1/4 inch. I'm going to adhere that to that 1/4 inch side where I had scored, and then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to try to adhere it to the other side, and I'm going to realize that it's a little bit too long. So easy fix, I'm going to trim that up. I'm going to just hand fold it over about 1/4 inch. Add a little bit more of that adhesive and tack that down. You can add multiple layers to this changing how tall they are and where you place them. Obviously, if you've made a box card before, I just wanted to show how you could make one yourself without any of the fancy dies that are out there. So I learned this from my friend Bori. I'm going to link her channel in the description box below. I saw it on her channel and thought, I could probably do this. And so I decided to use it on this project. Here I'm adding a second piece of that scrapbook.com tape. I'll remove the backing and then we're going to fold our card over. I did color all of my images off camera. I thought that it would make the video just a little bit too long if I colored on here as well. I will list the colors that I used in the description box below. Here's where I make a mistake. I should have put my blanket way down low. I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes, you just get into that groove and you just want to put your scene together because you really like the way that everything is working, and then you don't think about what you're doing. So I'm going to put my Papa Bear, who is actually going to be singing Christmas carols with the baby bear. And once I put him on, I realize that I could have put the other bear and the blanket and everything else down lower. What are you going to do? I like the way, it still turned out cute. You can still see everything through the window, but hindsight is 2020, right? I thought at first I was going to stack all those together, and I decided, no, I didn't like the way that that looked. So I am going to add it to the side. And here is little baby bear standing, I should say, on Mama's back, singing Christmas carols with the daddy. Right there is where I start thinking, I should have put the blanket down lower because A, it's being covered up a little bit too much by the mama bear, and B, I think it's just a little bit too high. I took the stack of books and I'm adding a little bit of foam adhesive. This is going to be adhered directly to the back of my card panel. Here's where things got a little bit tricky. I should have stuck everything through the front of the card and put it in. I tried to reach in and do it, and I didn't have my reverse tweezers. I had literally just cleaned my desk. My desk was pretty much spotless, and I have no idea what I did with those. I don't know where the reverse tweezers were. I'm trying to get my fingers down in there. The reverse tweezers would have made things so much easier, but no, I took the hard road when it came to this. So now I'm coming through the bottom, and I'm going to put those down, and then I'm going to put Papa Bear, and I think that Papa Bear is sitting up a little bit too high, so I'm going to reach in, pull everything back off. Thank goodness I didn't add, typically I add my liquid adhesive, and then by this time it would have been fully adhered, but I didn't. Here's where I see that it's a little too high. I'm going to move my books down, and that was easy peasy because it wasn't stuck down too terribly hard. And then I'm going to put my daddy bear in here, and now we're going to add the guitar. And this little family, Mama's relaxing because the day is finally over, and she can pass off the baby bear to daddy, and daddy can sing some Christmas carols with them, and the family is all happy. I'm going to add a little bit of decoration to this. This is where you realize, you think you have a lot of lawn fawn. And if you look at my collection, I have a decent amount, but I don't have a lot of Christmas stuff. I don't know what I was thinking when I went through and looked at all of the new Christmas stamps, but I don't have a Christmas tree. I had no Christmas tree. I was extremely sad about that. All of my trees were just the regular scene trees, and they just didn't fit scale wise. So I would have loved to have put a Christmas tree. I think that the Christmas tree would have added a lot, but I did have Christmas lights. And so we are going to make this festive with the Christmas lights, with the Christmas presents, and with our shiny pink ornaments. This year, we moved back to Nevada, and I still have a house in South Dakota, but all of my Christmas decorations are there, sadly. So, I have this small little white Christmas tree, and I bought some inexpensive pink ornaments, and my Christmas is pink and white this year. So I thought that it was only fitting that this family should match my house. Here's where I'm doing that little bit of surgery. So I realized that I had that bare spot on the inside where the folds met, and I thought that I would just take that cutout piece, trim it down. I had to trim it into two separate pieces, so there's a little bit of a seam, but it really doesn't show all that bad. I was able to line up the bricks, so at least the pattern is all lined up, and crisis averted. Because there was no way I was going to get a stencil in there. There was no way that even with a makeup brush that I was going to get a good pink blending in there. So thankfully this worked. I thought about putting the Christmas lights outside, and then I decided that no, I was going to go ahead and put them inside. These come as a straight line in the season's Tweetings, so I did create that arc before I stamped them, and then I used my brother's Scan and Cut to cut out all of these little elements. I don't have very many. I have a couple Lawn Fawn dies for the critters that came, like you could only buy them, like the s'mores one, s'mores the Merrier. I could only buy that with the dies, but typically I don't purchase the dies. This fa la 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 was stamped with picked raspberry, and I am cutting it down so that it will fit on the front of my card. And then we're going to add the outside little holly berries. I thought maybe I was going to put them on the sides of the sentiment that said fa la 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 la, and then I decided that I didn't like that as well. I was going to stick with my original plan, and I was going to put them on all four corners. I didn't add any glitz or glimmer with this. This is the first time in a long time that I haven't splattered or used a sparkle pen or anything like that. I thought that it was absolutely adorable all on its own, and this is going to be my card. In order to enter the giveaway, you need to leave a comment. So the more comments that you leave, the better your chances are of winning that $50 gift certificate. As I said, all of the information for the giveaway will be listed in the description box below. So stop by all of the channels, watch all the videos, share the love, and make sure that you leave a comment on each of those channels so that you have those chances to win. And again, it's only one comment per stop. We have amazing creators. We have some of the most amazing Lawn Fawn interactive card creators on this hop. I absolutely am in awe of all the talent every time that I hop with these ladies. So I hope you like my card. Please leave a comment in the description box below. Have a Merry Christmas, and we will see you again in the spring.